On November 10th, 1619, Rene Descartes was sleeping, not so peacefully, in his bed in a tiny village in Bavaria. For the weeks prior, Rene, and yes, we are on a first-name basis, had been intensely focused on a solution to a problem that most others couldn't even see. He was seeking not only a breakthrough, not only a revelation, but the unification of all rational thinking. You know, just like we all do at 3 a.m. But the thing is, this wasn't just your typical fever dream. That date, November 10th, 1619, is often referred to as the birth of modern science, a day that permanently changed the trajectory of human thought. And it all began with a dream. A dream. And a nightmare. Dreams, even with all of our modern advances, are still barely understood by science. They exist at a unique crossroads between our understanding and something beyond it. And you may be shocked to learn that when asked about their inspiration, many of the world's greatest thinkers will offer the following explanation for their most innovative ideas. It was revealed to me in a dream. First, let's dive in a bit to Descartes' story. It should be noted that in the 3 months prior to this, Rene hadn't drank a drop of alcohol. This is of note because presumably, like all philosophers, this was very unusual for him. Something of a Scrooge, he was haunted that November night by 3 extremely detailed dreams. In the first dream, often capitalized, the first dream, just because it looks cool, I imagine, he is walking a long, dark stretch of road surrounded by ghosts. No word on whether or not they were hungry for human blood. He feels, for some reason, that he must walk on the left side, because the right is dangerous. At the end of the path is a college. Maybe he's having one of those dreams where you're back in school? Whirlwinds abound, knocking him about. Rene decides that he's in a pretty fucked situation and he ought to go pray at the college chapel. But just then, a massive whirlwind thrusts him in the other direction. In the middle of the courtyard, he sees a mysterious man who tells him that another man, only referred to as Monsieur N, has a package for him. Descartes wonders what's in the package and decides it's probably a melon, like a foreign melon from another country. Look, I don't know why either, okay? It's a dream. Then a strong wind comes again and everybody else is fine, but he's getting blown all over the place. Now, okay, listen, I know what you're thinking. That is a very normal dream. How exactly did that change the course of history? Well, just you wait, buddy. In Dream 2, he hears an extremely loud noise from inside his head. And then... that's it. That's the whole dream. Or was it? What if this one wasn't a dream at all, but actually an instance of his head exploding? You laugh, but there's a published, peer-reviewed piece in a real medical journal titled "Did Rene Descartes Have Exploding Head Syndrome?" But that's neither here nor there. Moving on. The third dream is the really important one. It also feels the most like a puzzle from a CD-ROM game. Rene appears in front of a desk with 2 books. One is an encyclopedia, and the other is a poetry book. He opens the poetry book and he finds a poem that reads, "What path in life shall I choose?" Then yet another mysterious man appears. My headcanon is that this is Monsieur N. He doesn't have a melon, but I just thought that would be cool. Anyway, he's carrying a single poem in his hand. It reads, "It is, and it is not." The handsome monsieur tells him that this poem is in the book somewhere and that Rene should try to find it. However, he looks and looks, but the poem is nowhere to be found. Anxious, he looks up to Monsieur N only to find that the books and the stranger are gone. In the years that followed, he became obsessed with pursuing the meanings of these dreams. He interpreted them like this. In the first dream, he rejected the divine spirit of knowledge that was trying to come into his mind. In the second dream, the divine spirit finally entered. And in the third dream, he was shown the secret to unifying science and philosophy in a cryptic sort of manner. But 18 years later, as Descartes revealed to the world his glorious vision for what would become known as the scientific method, he cited these 3 dreams as his primary inspiration. Honestly, I've had dreams way weirder than that and just, like, got up and shook it off. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should dedicate my entire being to analyzing each of my wacky dreams and become so obsessed with it that I don't know, invent science? Or maybe I should just stick to making videos. Descartes' wacky adventures weren't the only time vital scientific information was revealed in a dream, though. Niels Bohr, winner of the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1922, had a similarly illuminating dream the year prior. He had been fruitlessly researching and experimenting, trying to work out the seemingly impossible structure of an atom. One night, after fervent, feverish thinking, an image appeared to him in his mind of electrons orbiting the center of an atom like planets around a sun. Possessed by the strange idea, he was shocked to find that his calculations proved it not only possible, but that his dream was 100% accurate. Where would we be today without this dream? But it's not just science. It's also fake science. One could argue that the genre of science fiction wouldn't exist without dreams. And I will argue that. Mary Shelley, at the time just 19 years old, recalls a frightening dream she had. Quote, "When I placed my head upon the pillow, I did not sleep, nor could I be said to think. My imagination, unbidden, possessed and guided me, gifting the successive images that arose in my mind with a vividness far beyond the usual bounds of reverie. I saw the pale student of unhallowed arts kneeling beside the thing he had put together. I saw the hideous phantasm of a man stretched out, and then, on the working of some powerful engine, show signs of life, and stir with an uneasy, half-vital motion." Don't you just love the way people from that century talk? She would later go on to use this dream as inspiration to write the world's first science fiction novel, a little book called Frankenstein. And author Bram Stoker, too, had a nightmare that inspired his book, Dracula, which went on to inspire every piece of vampire fiction ever written, including, of course, 2005's most culturally important novel. Yes, it turns out that November 10th, 1619 wasn't the only day a dream changed the course of history. There was also June 2nd, 2003, the day Stephenie Meyer dreamed the plot of Twilight. So whenever you find yourself at a loss for inspiration, no need to toil away for weeks. Just take a deep breath, put on a weirdly long striped hat and a bathrobe, light some candles, and take a well-deserved nap. You may just wake up with an idea that will change the world. Or at the very least, you might get to meet Monsieur N. Isn't he dreamy?